Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Sunday night. We're on the tail end of All-Star Weekend. And we get ready to get into it. I know you can see my background. Get ready to move this logo. Give me a second from, let's see. All right, so y'all can see the beauty. That is Rickea Jackson and Angel Reese. All right, so in honor of All-Star Weekend, we're talking about basketball today, which is cool because as you see, I got on my Hawks jacket. I'm a basketball fan. Basketball and football, that's my domain. So it's All-Star Weekend. Yesterday we talked about how the kickoff to All-Star Weekend was, it's a long title, NBA HBCU All-Star Classic or Classic. NBA All-Star HBCU Classic between Morehouse and Tuskegee. I went and found footage from 3 months ago when the teams were invited. It looked like a fun event. Still not a lot out there about it. And I did learn that this is the fourth year for the Classic, the HBCU Classic, which features seemingly different teams every rotation. So this is the fourth year it's taking place. So hopefully next year, we can hear more about it. Hopefully it'll be on ESPN along with the rest of All-Star festivities. So it looked like a good event. I actually had a chance to watch highlights of the game. It's about 9 minutes clip with the interview with Spike Lee. And you could see highlights from the game. It looked like a good basketball game. So check it out. If you have ESPN2, I think the whole game was there. If not, check the highlights on YouTube or NBA.com. All right. So as y'all can see, there are two beauties on my screen. So we're going to talk about Unrivaled basketball. I had a chance to watch one of the 1v1s. Now, what I watched was Nafessa Collier and Rickea Jackson. Now, I know y'all talk about Angel Reese a lot. You hear about Caitlin Clark a lot, right? But what people don't know is that the year, which was last year, that you heard a lot about Caitlin Clark. She came out number one. Angel Reese dropped to, I think, 7. And Rickea was there, right? So I think maybe Rickea was 3 or 4. It's a little known fact that had Caitlin Clark stayed at Iowa another year, Rickea Jackson would have been the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft last year. So Rickea's a baller. I watched her footage from her time at Tennessee. It's out there. She's a baller. And a lot of fans essentially were not happy with the coach of the Sparks who got let go, right? Because why? He wasn't really playing her. And when she started to play, they started to do better. So I felt like, they were holding Rickea back, just like, we saw a lot of hatred towards Angel, so somebody else could shine, right? So Rickea Jackson came on late, was allowed to play full games later toward the end of the season. And I even heard Sparks fans saying, you know what? If she had been playing all season long, 1, the team would have did better. And 2, she would have been part of that MVP conversation. I'm like, for Rookie of the Year, I said, right, that's why they didn't let her play. I'm not the only person that knew she was supposed to be the number 1 pick had Caitlin stayed in school. So that tells me, even with Caitlin coming out of school, she should have been like number 2. I don't remember what she was drafted at, but it should have been pretty darn high. And she should have started playing from the beginning, just like Angel Reese, just like Caitlin Clark. But I do feel like one of the reasons she didn't get to play from the beginning was because they knew she would shine. And, the argument towards the end of the year is that Rookie of the Year would have been a 3-way race or maybe a 2-way race between Angel Reese and Rickea Jackson. So that's Rickea Jackson. I watched her play Unrivaled against Nafessa Collier, the 1v1. Now, remember, Unrivaled has 1v1 and 3-on-3 play. They don't have 5-on-5, which is what you see in the WNBA. So it's a compliment to the league, in my opinion. So they play in Miami, and Rickea played against Nafessa 1-on-1, the first person to 11 wins. I think I like the style of play. Nafessa's a beast. I saw her play when I think they got to the playoffs. She plays for the Minnesota Lynx. And they said she went to UConn. Her game is solid. Rickea can shoot. She's a forward that can shoot. So that makes her an asset. But of course, then at one point the game got close, and then it looks like Nefessa just pulled away and won. And it was for the semifinals. So the finals for Unrivaled in this tournament that they're having comes with a $200,000 purse for the winner. So what I saw was the semifinals yesterday. I have to go back and see who's in the finals on the 1v1. I don't think Angel Reese played. I think she was off with the NFL doing the flag football. So if you have a chance to watch Unrivaled, even if you don't have a chance to watch the full game, check out the highlights. Just Google Unrivaled tournament, $200,000 purse to the winner. And I like that. All the players make six figures and they get equity in the league. So Unrivaled is set up pretty good. If you don't know, it was started by Brianna Stewart and Nefessa Collier. They call her Queen Fee. So Stewie and Queen Fee got together and co-founded Unrivaled Basketball. And in my opinion, they filled in the gaps where the WNBA didn't in terms of salary. Like people talk about how Angel Reese only made $75,000, whereas all the women in Unrivaled, I think the roster was 30 or 33 women, made starting salary of six figures, plus they received equity. And they also selected future players. I think they selected Flage from LSU already. I forget the young lady that plays at UConn. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She already has like a shoe deal with Nike. And I think Juju from USC. But if not, they better get Juju. Juju is a baller. Juju is a baller. So we got two Jujus. Juju at Colorado, Juju Lewis, Juju Watkins at USC. So they both are ballers in their own respective sports. So I don't think Juju is eligible for the draft for maybe another 2 years. So I think it's 26, maybe it's Flage. 25 is a young lady at UConn for the draft. 26 is Flage. 27 is Juju. But I think Unrivaled signed them to a deal. Now, Caitlin Clark, they offered her $1 million to play, but she didn't want to play. And I was like, honestly, I didn't think they needed. I think the league would have been overshadowed, and her fan base just comes with drama. So I think it was better for them to launch their inaugural season without that. They'll see her when they get to the league because Unrivaled wraps up their season ahead of, give them time to rest, I think maybe in April, ahead of the WNBA draft. And I haven't heard much about the WNBA draft yet. I think one of the stipulations is that the players who currently play for Unrivaled, like on the active roster, can only come from the WNBA. And I kind of hated that because y'all know Tia Cooper, right? People wanted to see her come back. People wanted to see her make it back to the LA Sparks or another team. But I thought maybe with Unrivaled coming on, that Tia Cooper would have the chance, to come into that league. But the way the league is structured, the women from Unrivaled have to be part of the WNBA on the active roster, but they could recruit for the future. Some people think that Unrivaled will be the league going forward. Now, it was announced today that Cleveland in the WNBA is getting a team. So there's a new team in California, the Valkyrie, and then Cleveland gets another team. So they're adding franchises. I think maybe Toronto, somebody in Canada was talking about getting a team. So the WNBA is expanding. But at the same time, a lot of people believe that Unrivaled will become the game of the future. So what does Unrivaled have to do with the NBA? Well, Rickea Jackson was actually featured in the NBA All-Star Weekend Celebrity Game. And I watched a little bit of All-Star Weekend. It just wasn't catching my attention. It's on my TV right now, right? So I said to myself, when is the WNBA going to feature a 1v1 league or a 3-on-3 league? Like, I know they have a G League, but that's a developmental league. Like Unrivaled in the WNBA, it seems like a partnership or a feed-in or something like that, or complementary. When is the NBA gonna have something complementary? Can y'all see the NBA having a complementary league which features 1v1 and 3 versus 3 play? And then this is where I think they should start. I think next year for All-Star. I saw the dunk contest that ended in congratulations, 3-peat Matt McClung. Not surprised there. remember when he won it the first time. And the skills challenge, which we saw with the WNBA, where MVP was, what's her name? Rickea, whose brother I told y'all played for the Texans. And then the winner of the skills challenge, she won all the trophies and all the money, was Alicia Gray. And Alicia Gray was also playing in the Unrivaled tournament. She's a part of Unrivaled as well. So that's where I think the next All-Star, NBA All-Star weekend should feature a 1v1 play. I don't know how they want to decide who plays. Maybe they follow the same structure and they start with a base of players and it's a tournament and you win 200,000. Maybe they don't have time for all of that. Maybe they work in a 3-on-3, you know, just like they had in the Olympics, a 3-on-3. So in my opinion, the NBA needs to spice it up a bit. Here's what the NBA, if you listen, need to do next All-Star. One, please put the HBCU Basketball Classic on the same channel as all of the other All-Star festivities so I can watch all of it. I don't want to watch just the highlights of the HBCU Classic. Bring all the content together on one platform. Secondly, please spice it up with a 1v1 competition or a 3 versus 3 game. I don't know. You got to figure out how you want to do it. But I do think that will be fun. So that type of activity, 1v1 or 3 versus 3, could actually be the segue into the league having a 1v1 or 3v3 league. I don't see why the NBA doesn't have that. So maybe they're waiting to sit back and see how it goes with Unrivaled. Even though Unrivaled is owned by 2 individuals who played in the NBA, the WNBA, it's not owned by the WNBA. But the point is the 2 leagues are competitive. And if they both work, I think somebody, maybe the Big 3, maybe something like the Big 3 for the NBA, or somebody competes and has their own league. That's 1v1 and 3v3. That's kind of like a feed into the NBA. Y'all let me know what you think about that. Do you think it would be a good idea to have a 1v1 and 3 versus 3 for the NBA to spice it up a little bit, or just additional competition? Let me know your thoughts. All right, let me see who's in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit the like button for me, you guys. Let me turn on some music. Let's see. All right, let's see here. I don't know if y'all can hear music or not, but I was just going to put some music on. All right. So let me check the comments and see what y'all think about that. Greetings. Great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. David, welcome, Herman. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hey, Regina. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Crowley, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome. Peace, Kiel. It said you already had the Big 3. That was started by Ice Cube. Okay, so here's the question. All right. Can you see maybe the Big 3 folded into All-Star Weekend? I think there should be 1v1, 3 versus 3 play, because a lot of people say, you know, with the NBA All-Star game, which is actually on right now, is not really defense, is, you know, it's not really competitive. So I'm thinking from a competitive aspect, because the NBA in the Olympics sent a 3v3 team, they already have the concept. Why don't they just start for All-Star at least a 3v3 competition? I mean, what do y'all think about that? I know we have the Big 3 outside. Maybe that could be like our rival, but it's so different because those players are not active in the NBA. They are basically retired. So while I love the concept and it does seem to be successful, I just feel like the NBA needs a league where current active players can play 3v3 or 1v1. I think maybe there should be like an NBA plus league. You know, the plus is 1v1, 3 versus 3. Start with the competition taking place. And All-Star Weekend, fans love it. It expanded, right? That's what I think. It says, let's see. So thank you, Kiel. Yeah, we already have a 3 versus 3. It said a couple of years ago, I used to try to merge the Big 3 with the NBA. But he has so much pushback from Adam Silverman because they wanted to control it. Right. So this is the thing. You know, when I kind of remember when Ice Cube was coming along with the Big Three, he was getting a lot of obstacles put in his way because I feel like the NBA at the time thought that maybe they would lose business. But you have to remember the players that play for the Big Three, you know, they're not active players. They're retired players. So that's just an extension of basketball, the next phase of a basketball player's life. So I think it's something that should have been welcomed. And of course, he went ahead and became successful with it anyway. But when I look at Unrivaled, the players that play for Unrivaled are active WNBA players. And eventually, as their contracts become free agents, you know, in the WNBA, and as Unrivaled grows, they might be able to change their stipulation and become 100% without restriction from, you know, the WNBA saying, hey, the players that play for Unrivaled have to play for the WNBA. To me, that was the way the WNBA were trying to protect their assets, meaning, okay, if I let you start this league, if I don't, you know, sue you for, you know, whatever they have, competitive agreements or whatever, you know, I feel like they're thinking, well, we got to put a stipulation in place. Because remember, Nafisa and Breanna Stewart worked for the WNBA, but they went off to start their own thing. So they kind of had to agree. But, you know, they had to agree to the stipulation. But once they can get away from that and get their own players however they want to, like say if they wanted to get Tia Cooper or somebody else that we don't hear about in the WNBA for the next 2 years, and they want to play for Unrivaled, that they will be able to do so. That's why I think people say this will become the league of the future. And the NBA there is not currently on the market anything that ties into the NBA with active players playing 1v1 and 3v3. And with everybody talking about, you know, the conversation surrounding the NBA losing viewership, this is the perfect opportunity. The perfect opportunity to introduce 1v1 and 3 versus 3 play for active players. Maybe start with the G League. Have the G League, since it is already out there, maybe start with them, you know, and tie it in. But again, that's still not on the NBA active roster. So I think it needs to happen. I think they need to try it out at the next All-Stars, make it more exciting. That's just my opinion. And this is the same thing that happened to the old CBA that was ran by Isaiah Thomas. Okay, you schooling me now. I'm listening. It said they basically crushed it and started the G League. They want you to join them, but they want to control you. So remember, is it LeVar Ball? He wanted to have a separate league called the J League, I think, where you right out of high school, you could go into a professional basketball league. It wasn't the G League. It was like the J League. And he was trying to get it together, kind of like Overtime. Overtime here in Atlanta. You know, they have their own arena. They have their own games. They actually have a school that the players go to. You get scholarships, but then before NIL was scholarship only. And you live on site. There's like housing on site. So it's like you're going to school, like IMG, but for basketball. That's kind of what it was. It was specific to basketball. That's what Overtime Elite is. I've seen their tutors, their teachers. I watched a documentary on it. So Overtime Elite was allowed to grow and breed. And there's a player, I can't think of his name. He and his brother were twins. Thompson, I think. Last name Thompson. He's in the league right now. So the league seemed to be okay with Overtime, which was a precursor to, you know, I mean, it comes as a predecessor. No, it's really not. It comes before. It's like the first step before you get to the pros with the NBA. And then, you know, there's the G League. But I think it was LeVar Ball wanted to start either the J League or Big Baller Brand League or something like that. But I don't think it ever went anywhere. And it could be because of what you're saying, Kiel. It could be because the NBA doesn't like the competition. So here's what the NBA needs to decide. The conversation is we're losing viewerships. You know, they've gone to in-season tournaments. They've gone to electrifying the floors. I don't know what the feedback is going to be from this year. People say they're not really interested in it because the All-Star game is not competitive. Unrivaled has come along and have shown that it can work because the players that play in Unrivaled, people like, I've heard people say, oh, I'm a new fan of Nafessa Collier. So when she gets to the WNBA season this year, people are going to watch her play. So it's like a feed-in. Like, even though it's independent and it's separate, with active players, you're just following them. And I'm not saying that they have the time to do that with an 82-person schedule. But in All-Star Weekend next year, they definitely can feature 3v3 and 1v1 amongst themselves. That way, you don't have to worry about the competition, because eventually somebody's going to do it. Eventually, somebody will be successful. If overtime can come along and be successful at the high school level and feed in, and Ice Cube can be successful with retired players, somebody is going to come along and compete head up, whether it's before the season, off season, with the NBA. Eventually it's going to happen. So if they don't do it themselves, it's not going to make it go away because they don't want to do it. It's something that is inevitable, because as people watch more 1v1 and 3 versus 3 play, they like it. They like it. The attention span is shortening now. So I think that I heard people say they don't go to basketball games like they used to because the time, that the commitment. So now they're talking about shortening the quarters. So instead of 15 minutes, they're thinking of going to 10-minute quarters. I'm like, then why not just do 1v1 versus 3v3? In addition to whatever, like, instead of just shortening the game and charging me more money to go, and then you're losing viewership as you go. That's just me. That's just my thought. So it says, how's a substantial point? Here's a substantial point how that's going to work. You got to play within the season or play before the season starts. I mean, honestly, I'd have to think about it. If you mean how's it going to work from a competitor standpoint, or how's it going to work within the NBA? I mean, the NBA clearly already can put together a 3v3 squad for the Olympics. To me, I say just start with All-Star. See how it goes. If people like the 3v3, if they like the 1v1 competition, why not? If you're thinking about shortening the quarters anyway, if you're thinking about shortening the quarters from 15 minutes to 10 minutes, then you got 5 minutes. You got 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes that you could do something with at a game to keep my interest. Because are they really going to reduce ticket prices if they reduce the quarters for a total of 20 minutes? No. So that's where you try to use your 1v1 and 3v3. You got to figure it out. I mean, you got to try it. And to me, All-Star next year, I think a lot of people will want to go see that. They can't fight it forever. That's all I'm saying. I like that point, Kiel. It said, some moves need to be in silence. Yeah, they do. They do. It said, you're right, but Ice Cube needed a network and the NBA would have provided for it. To me, it seems like they're trying to keep everybody from competing against them, but they don't want to progress. You don't want to progress. You can't expect to stay the same when everybody else is progressing. I didn't know how I would feel about 3 versus 3 play, but guess where I saw it for the first time? The Olympics. People talked about it. They liked it. And then here's Unrivaled with it, which they probably were already working on anyway. But here they are with it, and it seems to be working. Unrivaled had a TV deal with TNT already. They had that before the season started. They have all sorts of kind of sponsors. The referee had Sephora on his jersey. When have you seen a referee with advertising on? Right. That's called progress. They already had financing from like Ally Bank. They play in one venue in Miami, so they keep their costs down by not having to travel yet. I don't know how that's going to work. I think eventually they're going to have to venture out. And then again, they offer tournament, they offer 3v3 and 1v1 play, and everything that the WNBA couldn't be, they seem to be. So, I don't know. You got to run the league like a business. So, I think maybe, I wonder if that's why, Kia, I'm looking at your comment about Ice Cube and the network. Does anybody remember when Serena and Ice Cube and a host of investors tried to get together and buy either a cable company or some TV networks? Does anybody recall that? they got together as part of an investment group, and I think they were bidding on even what Byron Allen was bidding on, something similar. I don't know if it was like a cable company, and they have all these network deals, or if they were trying to buy up a few TV stations in select markets to start their own network. Oh, Kiel, you remember that? Do you think that's why Ice Cube was going down that road, trying to get his own network? Because, it would help him when it comes to marketing his brand with Big 3. So people have been working on it. I heard they had a lot of roadblocks, a lot of obstacles. People think the media market is vast. It's actually a small world in terms of, like, a lot of people didn't know Fox owned Tubi until this year, until Fox wanted to use Tubi to push the Super Bowl, and they pushed it for free. All you had to do was sign up. You didn't have to pay any money. Guess who that hurt? YouTube TV. So YouTube TV basically has become cable without a box. They are now running the same ads saying that we're gonna lose CBS. Remember how you used to see that if you had cable, when it had the box and everybody had a box in different rooms of the house, and it used to see these ads that said, help us keep CBS, help us keep your favorite channels. Well, now that's what YouTube is doing. So Tubi just said, forget all of that. So since we're owned by Fox, it was easy for them to start streaming, right? Now they have Coach Prime show. They showed the Super Bowl. So maybe that's Tubi's foray into showing sports. So you'll start probably seeing Tubi Sports, which will compete with YouTube TV, Sling TV, Fubo, things like that. So that's why I say the NBA can't stay stagnant forever. I think they need to try the 1v1 or 3v3, because they already have the format because they use it for the Olympics. 3v3 team for the next NBA All-Star weekend. And I don't know where it is, but I just think it would be something kind of to make it interesting. All right, so that's where we are with basketball. So why is Angel Reese on here? So I told y'all Rickea's on here. Okay, so Angel Reese, she's Unrivaled basketball. She's the WNBA. She's the double-double queen. She was at NFL flag football. And some people think that she either is crushing on our favorite QB1 or that they are in a relationship. So congratulations, Angel Reese, first on her McDonald's TV deal, McDonald's endorsement deal. I just saw her commercial for the first time on YouTube TV, where she has her own meal, right? So it seems to me that, Angel has become a star in her own right. And when I started this channel, if you go all the way back to my original content, who did I start with? Shedeur and Angel. And I had them two featured in a few clips together. And I said way back then, I said, you know what? She was the LSU. I knew they were friends. I said, you know what? I could see these two in a relationship. That was her last year at LSU. So if we're 2024, maybe 2023, 2022, I don't know. And Shedeur was already at Colorado. So the NFL flag football game comes. You can see all the content, Well Off Media. You can see Angel. I told y'all Duke Dennis and a lot of other people. You saw Lotto and you saw Sexy Red. Now, Lotto and Sexy Red were actually playing in the game. Angel Reese was a coach of one of the flag football teams where Kai Cenat and I Show Speed were actually the captains. So she was a coach. And then Shedeur showed up and he wasn't playing. She wanted to know why he was playing. But a lot of people said, okay, Angel, we saw that. So it's like she tried to hug him around his waist and he kept walking like, uh-oh, I better go. And that same weekend, Shedeur dropped a video for a song that has since been released that people love. They said they could hear Future sliding on it. You could see he was making some of the video when, he and his dad were by Mr. Jerry Jones when they were talking and stuff like that, right? So the song lyrics go something to the fact of, girl, I love you, but I can't date you. And then when people saw the NFL flag football game and she tried to hug him and he was like, I gotta go. I was like, hold on now. I said, wait a minute. I know I've always said these two should date. I know that they are friends. And when it comes to relationship, she really gets irritated. Like she thought she was standing up for Travis by saying stay out of his business, right? And people like, Angel, shh, you don't know what you're talking about. She's talking about, well, he's a celebrity and I'm a celebrity. And, some celebrities partners don't like when, you get in their business. I was like, Angel, shh. He not you, okay? Y'all might need to talk, but he's not you. So maybe her relationships supposedly weren't working out because the guys are telling her, you too high profile. I don't want to be mixed into all of that. I don't know if y'all remember when Kim Kardashian dated Reggie Bush way back when. Then she dated another ball player, Austin somebody, who played for Dallas. Then she married the other guy for like 72 days or something like that. Well, the first two guys that played ball, Reggie Bush and the Austin guy, I think they were basically saying, we don't want to be a part of all this. We don't want the cameras following us around. They didn't want that high profile lifestyle. They'd rather date women who were low key. So basically, Angel was saying when Travis's situation was gaining traction and people were trying to, tell him he need to run, she thought it was basically people just being nosy in his situation, whereas people had to tell her, stay out of this, not that. So I was thinking, her and Shedeur will be perfect for each other because why? They both are high profile. Shedeur understands the light. She understands the limelight. They both understand each other's schedule. They look cute together, in my opinion. So people think his song, Girl, I love you, but I can't date you, was for her because she tried to hug him around the waist. They obviously friends. They probably talk. They probably text. They know each other. But he like, look, I can't date you. And some people say, you know what? Those two dating. Imagine if Angel Reese and Shedeur Sanders were both, instead of Coach Prime and Carucci, what if it were Angel Reese and Shedeur Sanders spotted in a restaurant, coming out of a restaurant holding hands? That would just blow the internet wide open because they both get hated on. That's why I featured them way back then when she was at LSU. And I think he had just gotten to Colorado or something like that. But imagine that. What do y'all think about Angel Reese, Shedeur Sanders? Not are they dating? What do you think about the possibility? Can you see these two megastars in their own right, basketball, women's basketball, and college football, but getting ready to be the WNBA, Unrivaled, with the NFL? Can y'all see Shedeur Sanders and Angel Reese in a relationship, both being high profile? Their schedules, neither one of them are like, oh, you always too busy. They likely won't have those issues because they're both busy. Can you kind of see that? Let me know y'all's thoughts. Follow the money with conservative networks. Yeah. Oh no. No. You're right about that, Kiel, for sure. Who stepped in and stopped them? Oh, this is Kiel responding to when I said, do y'all remember when Serena and Ice Cube and a group of investors tried to buy some network television stations and put together their own network? Kiel is saying, who stepped in and stopped them? The FCC. It says, now that's kind of strange, but he's probably why we're going to put some programming in these that would have probably been informative. Right. So the fact that the FCC controls the airwaves, I mean, that's kind of like in some of these countries, they get programming fed to them. They don't pretty much get to just go stand outside and tap into a global network. Remember Access Television? That's where people could go and share news that wasn't a part of like the major news networks. This is why you can kill a story. I talked about this the other day. This is why you can kill a story, because you do have the FCC regulating, and with the FCC regulating, the purse strings are tight as to who can participate, who can be network owners, who can own cable networks. I mean, it's not like you can just go up to the FCC, file an application, and you get the opportunity to go out here and post up cameras in every city in America and start reporting the news. No, you can't do it like that. So that's why they can kill a story. So I see what Kiel is saying by this is why Serena and Ice Cube's investment group, didn't really get anywhere when they had a solid bid. It said, me anyway. Okay, you're saying no. Elaine said yes, and me anyway said no. I need to know what y'all saying yes and no to, because we were talking about Ice Cube and Serena and the NBA, the Big Three, the WNBA, and Unrivaled. It says model blueprint, Roland Martin. Okay, all right. I need you to expand a little bit on that. Elaine, I like it. I need you to expand a little bit on that. And me anyway, when you said no, what are you saying no to? So yeah. So that's why they're up here. And speaking of how tightly stories, the regulations are for having networks, who gets to participate, let's talk about Stephen A. Smith for a minute. So, as y'all know, Stephen A. Smith caught a lot of flack. I was actually watching him at the time. I think we touched on this a little bit when I said, Stephen A. said that Serena at, crip walking was something that he should divorce. It was like get back, and her husband, she's married, and her husband should divorce her. What, that's what he would do, yada, yada, yada. And I said at the time, it shows how out of touch with what's really going on that Stephen A. is, because that meant he thought her crip walking was about Drake, to the point he would divorce her because she went on stage and crip walked. But her husband and most of us knew that it was because she had been criticized after winning a match. Some of us thought the match that she was criticized after winning was Wimbledon. She said no, it wasn't Wimbledon. She said, in fact, she knew she couldn't do that there. She would have been fine. It was the 2012 Olympics. So even though Stephen A. is in the news, even though he runs ESPN, everybody knows it. He went from a $10 million contract to now $126 million contract. And it was Monica McNutt, part of like a legend in the WNBA, that told us, Stephen A., you run everything. You run everything. And she was like, you could have been focusing on the WNBA because you run everything. So she put him out there, and he was like, whoa. And that's when it became common knowledge to most of us, what they knew, that Stephen A. was running a show up there. So for him to be running the show and sit up and try to drag Serena that way, of course, fans didn't like it. Because if you watched the Super Bowl, you saw her crip walk. But if you went back and watched all of the footage that is still circulating about when she appeared on the stage and people went crazy wild, they loved it. It told you that, one, he didn't even see that. Two, he thought that Kendrick's halftime show and Serena being there was about Drake because Drake also used to date SZA. So that's where he went with it. Honestly, I don't think I knew SZA dated Drake. And I still say, like Kendrick told you in the beginning, this is not about a song. This is not about a beat. This is about some 40 acres and a mule. So Stephen A. let all of that go over his head. Even though he gave the Super Bowl halftime show an A in terms of performance, he still only saw Serena being tied to Drake. And that's why I said, okay, that means he's not really into the know like we really thought he was. Thinking he has his ear to the ground. He got his nephew there with him who's young. But he really didn't know, or again, he forgot that she was criticized after the Olympics. And then here she comes crip walking on the largest platform. The Super Bowl was broadcast in 195 countries. 195 countries. You best believe that was one of the biggest stages, and it was the most watched show. So we all saw her. And like Beyonce said, the best revenge is your paper. So she was way young, 2012. We're in 2025, and she's become a mogul. I just said that she was part of an investment group with trying to purchase TV networks so that they could get together and create TV stations so they could create their own network. And some of y'all may know, she's like part of the ownership group, her and her sister, for the Miami Dolphins. And she still is, which is why I said her and others like her being a part of the minority ownership group is the reason why the Miami Dolphins had the exact correct response that they had following the Tyreek Hill situation. It wasn't, we don't know what's going on, we're going to look into it. They didn't brush it under the rug. They addressed it. They said what how they felt about it, and that it was wrong. It was egregious. So I do think that's part because they're part of the minority ownership group. So Serena got her paper up and went on to be a business mogul. She went out there and crip walked, and people loved it. So Stephen A was definitely out of pocket. So I said, let me see what has transpired since he got dragged. He came back and said, hey, we were just joking. We were just joking up here at ESPN. I don't mean that. I don't mean her husband should truly divorce her. So people got him straight. People got Stephen A straight. And that's what happens. When they put things out there that you don't like, that tear somebody down unjustly, speak up about it. Speak up about it, because people spoke out about him being a 57-year-old unmarried man that had never been married. And how was he going to tell Serena Williams, who's a mogul, the GOAT in sports, and married, happily married, with 2 children, who he would divorce? He's never even been in a situation to know if he would divorce her. But he came back and said, hey, we just joking up here at ESPN. So if y'all heard him criticize her, he said, after all, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. So I guess that means I keep watching Stephen A every now and then. All right, let me check with these comments and see what we got going. It said, what happened with her boyfriend who used to play from Florida State? Oh, if you're talking about Angel Reese, they broke up. I remember when they broke up. Some people said he got caught being unfaithful or he couldn't handle the spotlight. I remember that. Yep. So the question that we're talking about that people responded to was, you see Angel Reese up here. Congratulations on her McDonald's endorsement and commercial. I just saw it. But that fans, after watching the NFL football game, noticed that she tried to hug Shedeur, like not up top, but around his waist, and he kept it pushing. And he also dropped the song that same right after the Super Bowl that he was working on during the Super Bowl. He was actually making the little clips in different places. One was at the NFL honors. One was right when they were on the way to have the conversation with Jerry Jones. And the lyrics go something to the fact of, girl, you know I love you, but I can't date you. And people said that was about Angel Reese. I'm people. I'm one of the proponents of them two being in a relationship together. They're both high profile. They both will understand, their schedules. I don't think they would have an issue with, one partner being in the limelight, one partner maybe not, and feeling some type of way, maybe being jealous or, maybe being uncomfortable. So yeah, I'm one of those people that think they should be together. If you look at where this page got started, I had clips of them posted together, and now it's coming back full circle. So let me know if you think you can see Angel Reese and Shedeur Sanders in a relationship. I do think they're friends, though. I do. It said, I don't think he will date Angel Reese. They are friends. I think the song was about publicly dating. Oh, Jasmine, Ray. Oh, okay. Okay, K. Daniel. So you think the song, well, why would he say that about her? Girl, I love you, but I can't date you. Because to me, that's the relationship he was fiercely protecting. And when, mind you, I did see Angel try to hug him. And the reason I felt he kept it pushing real fast was because of Jasmine. Because, when he went on vacation after leaving Colorado, he talked about we being on vacation, which obviously, seemingly triggered Cam Newton. And that's when his additional spiral of hate came. And we talked about that. So I thought the song was about Jasmine Ray. I thought the song was about Angel Reese. I thought the reason he kept it pushing was because of Jasmine, because I think they still together. To Cam Newton's alleged disdain. So Elaine said, regarding the FCC, Roland is a professionally trained journalist, degree, etc. He started his own network, the Black Star Network. What's the concern with the FCC? So Roland Martin has his own network. Oh, okay. So I wonder what that means. I know he's on YouTube, but like, where else can he go to, say, Xfinity and say, and maybe he already has, I don't know, I'm just asking. Can he go to Xfinity and say, hey, what are the requirements for having my network on here? Like, for instance, UT had what used to be called the Longhorn Network. And I never forget, AT&T, when they cut the cord, they went to DirecTV app, right? But remember when they had cable boxes, they had packages. You had the basic package, then you had some middle tier package, then you had a package with like 1,000 channels. And I'll never forget, if you wanted the UT Longhorn Network back then, you had to get that package that was like way expensive. The basic package was like $85. I don't know what the other two were. So I don't know if UT still has their own network. It just transformed into an app where they have all of their content being shown. They can show it independently. They're not exclusive to, say, AT&T or DirecTV like they were back in the day. So is that where Roland Martin is with his network, that he has something similar to the Longhorn Network where he's tied into a cable provider, or he can go to a cable provider and have it on there? Or is it YouTube only or app, etc.? Let me know whatever y'all know. It said Roland Martin is for the people and sponsored by the people since the pandemic. Okay. So that Elaine, yeah. Thank you, Elaine. Me Anyway says, doesn't Shedeur have a girlfriend? We believe he does. Jasmine. I believe they may have had something, but it's over. That's why he slid on her on the event. Oh, okay. I didn't even consider that. Maybe something in the past. I thought he just didn't want to get caught up because, you know, the whole Cam Newton thing, throwing him under the bus with the other guys. I felt like when we heard that they had split quietly over the summer, it was because of that. But then when he said he was on vacation, and of course he wasn't showing who we were, and the fact that he said we, I knew it had something to do with Jasmine because they had supposedly split after the whole Cam Newton situation, a messiness, not situation. So with that being the case, I thought that's why he slid on her real fast too. But I never thought about them having something previously. That's some good insight, Me Anyway. Thank you. It says Sanders and Reese are a possibility. That's from Elaine. I like it. I like it. Now, I know Jasmine is older, so she's probably more mature. And that is another thing about Shedeur. Shedeur likes older women, and that's not a new occurrence. It's not new with this young lady. If you go back and watch Prime's Family Playbook, I think, there's the episode. I think they went to a skating rink, and they tried to set Shedeur up with this girl, but she was older, and she asked him, why do you like older girls? He said, because they're not messy. He refers to himself as a PIMP way back then, though, too. So, I don't know. But I think maybe that's what Cam Newton is trying to put out there. But, Shedeur said that when he was a kid. The girls all love Shedeur when he was little. If y'all watch that show, y'all know what I'm talking about. So he's always liked older women. So to me, Miss Jasmine Ray fits into that. And they've supposedly been knowing each other because I think she may be from Texas too. So I don't know. But good luck with whatever he does. But I did think he and Angel Reese would be a good match. Just because of the celebrities seem kind of to work out more so than dating somebody not in the industry. And that just doesn't go for celebrities. Like, what if you're a nurse, right? And nurses have these type of schedules where they 11 to 7, 7 to 11. Imagine you dating another nurse. Y'all kind of get each other. Maybe doctors and nurses date too. I don't know. If you have any insight, feel free to share if it works. If it works. However, he received sponsorship dollars from ad revenue. Okay, you talking about Roland Martin. Okay, I like that. It said YouTube only. Okay, you talking about Martin. To me, really, it works when you just have the one platform. So I'm testing out Twitch and I'm testing out Facebook. I don't know why it was on me just to add my content on Facebook. I think because my IG, what she said, IG Sports, the stories go over there and people watch them. So I'm like, well, let me just go ahead and put the live stream over there. So I could kind of see, how he could make his money from YouTube too. So it says he got dog walk. Good for Mr. SoCal, ESPN Smith. Oh, you talking about Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, enough for him to retract his words. Or no, he didn't retract it. He said he was just playing. So he watered them down. And that's what y'all got to do when he starts speaking spouting foolishness or BSery. Get on him because he clearly got the message. He is called grown. talking about Shedeur. Yeah, he is mature. He said he always liked older women. So that's why I think, him and this young lady, Jasmine, even though I think he and Angel Reese would be a good match, maybe not. I don't know, kind of women he like outside of the whole age preference. But that's why I think they gonna end up together. I do. If we start seeing her when he gets to Las Vegas, to understand that is where he's going. I think that's who he gonna be with. And they always joke, who gonna get married first? Some people say Bucky. Some people say Shiloh. Shedeur didn't say anything because he don't want to get married. So the only issue he gonna face in his relationship is if she 28 and she hit 32 and he 26, 27, and he not ready to get married by 28, 29, then that 28 gonna turn into 35, 36, kind of like what we said with Coach Prime and his alleged boo. Once that clock starts ticking, that's when things change, unless the women are not ready to settle down, unless the women are not ready to have kids. If the women are pushing for the ring, pushing for the marriage, pushing for the kids, and the guy's not ready, it ain't gonna work out. But then, Shedeur grew up seeing his father engaged for 12 years. So he might be very slow to get up the aisle. Bucky is 30 and I don't think he's married. And I don't know, he might be first, but he's already 30 and he's not married. DeAndre is 32. She's not married. So your family dynamics does play a lot into that as well. Said makes sense. He likes older women. Yes. That's why I said, when Cam was going in on him, I said when I knew that his girlfriend was older and Cam's 30 something and he looking at Shedeur like a rookie and he the vet, that's how he looking at it. Like she don't know no better. Said Roland is for the people. What people is he for? It ain't us. Elaine. you got a rebuttal there. You got a rebuttal. It said, I would love to see them date. Yay! I got somebody on my side. And Miss Jasmine Ray, if you ever see this, I'm not against you. I don't know y'all situation for real. I'm thinking if he is available, I think he should be with Angel Reese because, it's a good alignment. But if y'all together, I totally respect it. It said, I would like to see them date Regina. So Regina on my side. Yay! Elaine said, not speaking in a political context. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and post that. This is Elaine and Kiel's conversation. Y'all can add each other too. Jasmine has dated a lot of NBA players. She been around, that's why he can't publicly date her. He would catch all kind of flack from the media. Oh, okay. Well, he sure wouldn't be catching flack from his dad because a lot of people had some things to say about their relationship. And this is a good segue into my next topic. Y'all know I went live the other day about Coach Prime. The title was Coach Prime is Coach Prime really dating who? So I got a lot of comments, so we're gonna talk about that. Let me catch this last comment here from Elaine. Okay, Elaine and Kiel having a dissertation. So I'm gonna let them have that, and we get ready to segue into the video. All right, so yay. All right, y'all still hanging with me? Make sure you hit the like button. If you're hanging out in the background, there are 10 of us, that's cool. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. All right. So the first comment after I said, is Coach Prime really dating who? And the thumbnail of Coach Prime on a private jet, which says a lot in my opinion, about his status and what he can bring to a person's life, what he can contribute to the lifestyle. He can elevate your lifestyle. Because while Karuchi might be an Emmy award winning celebrity, she's been in the game for a minute, it doesn't mean that she could just order a private jet to hopscotch all over the country and beyond. So one of the first responses said, Coach Prime is building an empire and the legacy. The devil wears many hats. The devil wears many hats. He has to be able to recognize the devil no matter it disguise. What do y'all think of that? What do y'all think of that comment? I could agree with that. In fact, personally, one, I'm not against a relationship that has nothing to do with age. I say be discreet. If you want there to be a dividing line in your personal life and your private life, then you're gonna need to keep your private life private. And when you are the coach at a college university where it's a lot of snow, you don't want these people getting the idea that you out here chasing these young girls. You don't want that. They don't really care how old she is. They probably don't even know. They just see her. And a lot of people instantly thought, ooh, because he seems old and she seems young. But in reality, in May, she'll be 37. So her clock is ticking and she's facing 40 and Coach Prime is pushing 60. So I could see them having conversations about getting older. I really could, because she's about to be 40. Her gray hair probably peeking out around there, and y'all know he got a lot of it. So I can see the relationship being beneficial to both parties. But after the 2 marriages, 3 relationships since arriving at Colorado, I just think you got to move more discreetly. That's what I said. Dion is a solid homebody. He has talked about how he spends his downtime. Yeah, relationships make you different. And dating somebody younger, she might not be a homebody. She might be. I don't know. She might be. But that was the first comment. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. It says CP is building an empire and a legacy. The devil wears many hats. You gotta be able to recognize the devil no matter its disguise. I agree with that. It said Coach Prime is not another word. Dumb. I'm sure he's handling his business correctly. All right. It said, my concern is Coach Prime being consistent with one's claim of being a man of God. Quite a few people like that comment. He refers to himself as a man of God. Is he moving like a man of God? That was the question. One person said it's not y'all business. Another person said it's just not a good look for Coach Prime, in my opinion. Again, that's a woman. I told y'all, overwhelmingly, a lot of women did not like this. Somebody came into the comments and said a lot of women support, what's her name? She was part of the situation that Cam Newton put out there. Jalen Green's the young woman he dates, Drea. Somebody said, well, all women support Drea. I said, all women do not support Drea. I'm like, you'd have to have talked to all women to say that all women support Drea. So that's the impression some people have, that Coach Prime's scenario and Drea dating Jalen Green and having his child is the same scenario. I don't agree with that. She's, like I said, Karuchi's almost 37 in May. It said, here it is right here. But most women say go off about Drea dating a young man the same age as her son. That's what he was saying. So I don't know how y'all feel about that. What do y'all think about that? The comparison made to Drea dating a 22-year-old and having his child, who and she'll likely collect child support, I think, till she like 57 or 58. And her son is the same age, almost the same exact age, I think, as the guy she had the baby with, which is Jalen Green. I don't see this being the same scenario, unless he's trying to say, well, okay, first of all, 22 and 37 are different. They just different. But in terms of, there were people that said it was icky, because, Coach Prime is 57 and she's 36, which is 4 years older than his oldest daughter, which is 32. So I think that's the comparison the young man is trying to make, that we all are telling, Drea to go off. But all of us are not doing that. All women don't support that relationship, because Jalen Green is only 22. It says, CP is my guy. However, in my opinion, this is a distraction and the impact could be devastating personally. I'm surprised. See, that's the position I come from that side. I could see it. And people keep saying, well, that's his personal life. He can date who we want. I'm like, yeah, we can all do what we want, but there's always consequences to actions. And if you are beholden to other people or work for other people and your employer does not agree, it might be an issue. And then there were people comparing Coach Prime in the comments to Bill Belichick. And I'm like, okay, it's true. And I saw another story pop up about that. Bill Belichick dating a 24-year-old now. He's a college coach at UNC, and UNC doesn't seem to have an issue with it because they offered Belichick this fat contract, which has quite a few years tied to it. Belichick and Coach Prime not the same person, and there is a double standard, and I do know that they are friends. So I still say, while we didn't hear anybody say anything about Belichick, that doesn't mean that there aren't people in Colorado that feel some type of way about Coach Prime's dating life. Like, this is the third person he's dated since he's got to Colorado. He came through the door with Tracy, but that ended, then somebody else, then, possibly Miss Carucci. So I say, if you not ready to settle down, I don't think you should parade the women around on campus, around the team, at all of these events. I think if you and this woman are not trying to get up the aisle, and you're not trying to get married, I wouldn't keep bringing people around. I would just kind of like keep that private. So maybe go to the Christmas office party by yourself or with a good friend. That's all I'm saying. Let's see what the comments are saying. It says, let's see here. Okay, this is Elaine saying, it said, agreed. Using discernment, and I do mean true discernment. You don't make the same mistake over and over again. Thank you. You got to stop to think about that. Because I do think if it were a woman, I do think if this was a women volleyball program, okay? And let's just say they had a good run, and, they were in the news and everybody talks about them, and then people hating on them because they're doing well, getting the same kind of hate. Coach Prime already get hate anyway. I just think you got to make sure that you're not trying to give them something to dismiss you for, or look for something. But I know how he tends to think, well, if it's for me, it's for me. And I true. But even when it comes to God, you still have to move in a certain way. God does things, they say, at night. That means so don't nobody know. So they can't get in your way. That's true discernment right there. Knowing that God does things at night so nobody gets in your way. It said, I agree with that one too also. Yeah, just be discreet, that's all. It said, I criticize him, this is Kiel, I criticize him for his ways and means. But since I was raised in a nation of Islam, his blackness is never on display. So you can see, or you probably can't see it. Who are you talking about, Kiel? Are you talking about Roland Martin? Or are you talking about Coach Prime? Let me know. On senior day, he jetted across the field like he saw a what? A devil or a ghoul. Oh, yeah. There's so many videos about there that, Coach Prime, when it came time to exchange the kids or whatever for senior day, he hurried up and got away. And people said it was because of how that whole thing went with the accusations levied at him and things of that nature. I didn't know about much of that, so I didn't know, but that's what they were saying at the time. And there are several videos out there about that. It said, because all people have melanin or not melanites. Oh, that's true. It said, we used to have values and morals. We're peaceful of age makes a difference. We are proud of age makes a difference. Queen T. Hey, Queen T. Welcome. Hello, chat. Is it a double standard when it's a man versus a woman when it's age? Of course. Drea, but I don't know the age difference between Drea and her partner's relationship. I don't know. See, the thing with Drea is, when it came to her and the guys, or a woman like Drea, not necessarily Drea, with a woman in a similar situation as Drea's, older woman dating a lot of ballers, having kids for, like, people say they don't know who her first son is for, they think it's an athlete, but they ain't really sure. And then, having a child for somebody who's the same age as your grown son. I think the issue is, it was all fun and games when she was going from this one to that one to this one. And they thought that it was fun to partake in that game of passing her back and forth. But the moment that she settles with somebody, or, they enter a relationship and have a child, then everybody got something to say. but you could have warned him, or maybe if you warned him, like PJ Washington, he listened, then that's what it is. And some people say that's not his first child, so I don't know. But I don't think Coach Prime's situation is the same as that. That's different. Because for one, Jalen Green is 22, 23. DeAndre is 32, going on 33. And the woman he's dating is not 32. She's 36, going on 37. And if you let some of these men tell it, she over the hill in their mind. So why she can't date Coach Prime? I still say with her pushing 40 and him pushing 60, they have a lot to talk about getting older. They've lived a lot of their life. And, he can school her on some moves to make, not just professionally, but also too, when you get older, things change and they start changing quickly. So yeah, there is a double standard. Jay-Z being older than Beyonce, I don't really know if anybody had anything to say about that. We just know it's Jay-Z and Beyonce. But Drea and Jalen Green, probably because, it's some other factors there. I don't think it was just the age. I think it was seen as maybe she was just trying to find somebody and kind of like was playing him. Like what we talking about, like Travis, like he just being played. I think that's really what people meant when it came to Drea's situation. Said Dion has to watch. What does it say? Dion has to watch what? Hold on one second. Said Dion has to watch the traps laid for him on a spiritual level. Right. And we saw him do that, Elaine. We saw Coach Prime do that when he first got to Colorado. I'll never forget season 1. He was on the field and this beautiful woman that fits that tight. Look, you can line her up with Carucci, wife 1, wife 2, the girlfriend in between, and some other people. And she can fit right in. Everybody know he has a type, and people felt like somebody sent her to the middle of the field in front of everybody to try to get him to take the bait, and he didn't. He gave one of those church hugs like that and got the hell on. So he does know. But it's something you can't just look out for one time. So I agree with you, Elaine. You have to always be vigilant, that the enemy knows pretty much what it is you like and what to use to take you down. And he's at a very critical point. They're talking about his contract is still not done. Coaches, leaving. I don't know if Warren Sapp has been promoted yet. I thought maybe he had or he will be. I don't know. I did say they were quick to take care of Doc Livingston. And it says Coach Prime wants to be the highest paid coach in college football. Now, I don't know whose words those are, but that's the thought process behind that. And like I said, I feel like CU signing Doc Livingston and giving him long-term security, basically saying we want you to be we want you to be here. We want you to be here. If his contract is truly not finished and they are still trying to get somewhere, I still say it ain't gonna work. I think they willing to take Doc Livingston and the Coach Prime's blueprint and keep it pushing. That's just how I feel. I think they feel like, look, we got the blueprint. Remember we said Jackson State had the blueprint. They just have to use it, meaning you know what to do to get the eyeballs, the money, the people. You know what to do. Even though it's still called the Prime Effect, there still is a blueprint. And then they take that and they institutionalize it and they go forward with Doc Livingston. If he wants $12 million, such as Ohio State, or if he wants what Sarkisian has, or Clemson, I don't know. He was at 5 a year. I don't know if they're willing to go to 12 a year. And this situation, this type of negativity, it was received negatively. So it's just negative press. I just don't think it helps. That's why I say it, be discreet. Wait till these kids get drafted. Y'all see what they doing with the NFL Combine. I went back and looked. Now, y'all know Alabama wasn't even in the top 10 when they finished being ranked, right? They actually weren't supposed to be that year. So much so that they dragged in Jalen Milroe, like he the only reason for it, right? Okay, so when you go back and you look at these PFF grades, these statistical grades that they give the players, I looked at who got combine invites and who was in the top 10. Now, you know, Colorado was ranked number 25. And Colorado had, was it 4 people to go? We should have had at least somewhere between, at minimum 5. At minimum, it should have been 5. Will Shepherd had like a 78. So today there was an article showing all the first year freshmen who played wide receiver, like Ohio State and, you know, Ryan Williams, who is Serena Williams' cousin, by the way, at Alabama. They all had 78s. Will Shepherd had a 78. I saw Alabama, who people say they just wasn't good this year, right? All their players, I think if they had 9 draft prospects, 8 of them got invitations, and they all were ranked in the high 8s. So, I personally, knowing that, you know, I got people trying to take me down left and right. Somebody already sent a missile with this woman who everybody knew was my type coming towards me, trying to get me, and I'm still in a relationship with Tracy. I moved away from Tracy. I wouldn't have brought nobody else around. This young lady right here, the cameras would have never saw me and her, because why? I got players trying to be drafted. They hating on my players. We already got undercut. You know, I need to get my sons. I'm trying to get them drafted. Both of them getting hated on. Both of them receiving flack. And I'm pretty sure I taught my children, all 5 of them, to keep their business private. But then mine goes public. It's not lost on me. It's not lost on me that when his story went public, a day or 2 before, DeAndrea goes public with her situation. His daughter goes public with her boyfriend, and Shedeur shows up with braids that he don't like. You know, we all applaud Coach Prime for, you know, raising his, for what we can see, sons for sure. We see them more often. All his kids, but his sons for sure. But keeping their relationships private, and then his go public. So to me, their behavior was almost like it could be seen as an acting out. Like, well, I thought you said we should be private. We can't bring our relationship to the forefront, and here you are. It's possibility. Possibility. That's the double standard right there. That's, don't do what I say. Don't do what I do. Say. Possibility. It says, but there is, hold on one second. Wow, I'm having to go back. Y'all doing really well with these comments and the engagement in the chat tonight. Cool. Y'all gonna really love the friends and family group chat that we have. So I'm just saying, make sure we have memberships. Become a member. Pick your level, friends or family. It doesn't matter. Pick one, because we actually have another means to communicate offline. I love building community, and it's just part of it. So make sure you become a member of What She Said, friends and family, because I see how much y'all like to engage here. Awesome. Man, y'all are really having conversations. I'm trying to catch up to y'all. Let's see. I think Angel Reese and Shedeur could be cute together. I agree, Juanita. I agree. Saeed said, I can see Angel Reese and Shedeur together. Me too. I agree. It said, wait a minute. Who is Prime allegedly dating? Karrueche Tran. The actress. That's how I'm going to describe it. Most people just keep saying Chris Brown ex-girlfriend, but she's an Emmy-winning actress. Welcome back, Juanita. Welcome back. Wow, y'all are really having some good engagement in here. Okay, I'm loving it. This is awesome. Okay. Parading the women around on campus is the least of the concern. What about image to his sons and daughters? I mean, yeah, no, that's what I mean by it's not lost on me that all of a sudden DeAndrea's going public with her story. Somebody said in the comments, Shalimar posted her boyfriend. I follow her. I didn't see that, but I don't always see everything. And then Shedeur shows up with braids, and he's saying, don't provoke me. He don't like the braids. Timing. You know, parents, you can't tell your kids to keep their lives private, and here you are all over the place on all of these videos getting dragged, which is an embarrassment to them. So Carl Anthony Edwards is going through a thing right now with another older lady. Oh, wow. I didn't know anything about that. Kiel agreed on Coach Prime. I feel like I missed some of y'all comments, but let me try to catch up. Elaine. All right, y'all having some good engagement. Okay. Juanita said, hey, I just caught up from the beginning. Okay, Juanita. Awesome. It said, wait. I'm glad they caught you up. Let's see. Saeed, I can see them together. Elaine, absolutely. Angel and Shedeur. I do like Angel, and I know they friends. I know these two are friends. They have been friends. They were friends when she was, I think, at LSU. So why they might be fighting it, I called it when I started with what she said. Because they both get the same kind of hate. They have a lot to talk about. They understand each other's situations when it comes to being famous. And that's one of Angel Reese's sticking points about celebrities having their business, people talking about their business. But what Angel has to understand is if you want your relationship to be private, stay off the internet. You know what to do. They got private interests and exits and all of this, that, and the other. Now, when you're ready to go public with it, you make sure it's solid because they're going to get into it. You're going to have people that's for you. You're going to have people that's against you. And you're going to have people that indifferent. And then people that's just messy. And they do the same thing to everybody. So they're not necessarily against you. They just got something to say because their relationship didn't work out. So you have to, like Stephen A. told Travis Hunter, you have to learn how to discern the difference. But to be honest with you, haters don't know what they can't hate on. Keep your relationship off the internet. Off Beyonce's internet. So yes, I think Shedeur and them will be cute together. I don't believe Coach and Karrueche have anything in common. Just look at the men she's dated. I think they have, I do. Let me tell you what I think they have in common. I think, who said that? That was Juanita? Oh no, that was me anyway. Okay. Again, she's getting gray hair. She's turning 37. She's a celebrity. She's higher profile. And she could benefit from the relationship. So can he. He's a celebrity. He's high profile. They both have money, but he probably has more of it. She understands, just like Shedeur and Angel Reese, the inner workings of being celebrity in a relationship. If I can't get to you, you don't think it's because I'm out here fooling around. You just know I'm out here doing a photo shoot or I'm filming a movie, and he could go to her movie set when he have free time. And he start bringing her to Colorado. Oh Lord, she's gonna be a circus again. So you just kind of want to just keep all that at bay until you know she the one, because you don't want to bring another person into the situation and go, oh, that was just a nothing. They gonna be side-eyeing you. They already side-eyeing you in a peripheral vision anyway. Some of them directly head on. So that's why I say just keep it discreet till you know that's the one. So you're not bringing a fourth and fifth and sixth person around, because if you don't want to get married, then you're gonna end up being a serial dater unless you're gonna stay single. And you don't want to be labeled as a serial dater of young girls, and you are a coach on a college campus where it snows. I'm just telling you, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And he not Bill Belichick. I don't care what y'all say. They are friends, but there is a double standard, and we know why. Said Roland Martin. That's what I was talking about. Oh, okay. Thank you, Kiel. Thank you. Agreed. They are both playing chess. I don't know who playing chess, but I think it might be Coach Prime and Karrueche. I think that's who you're talking about, Elaine. Good morning, Queen. Thank you, Saeed. Good morning. You say good morning? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It says Drea has a son about the same age as her boyfriend. That's what people, right. And what people were trying to make the comparison with Coach Prime dating Karrueche, who's similarly aged to Deandra. Deandra's 32, not 22. It's a big difference between 32 and 22. However, the woman he's dating is not 32, allegedly dating. Karrueche, whom I'm a fan of, by the way. Karrueche is, I keep saying this, she'll be 37. Like, life starts to change at 37. You start getting gray hair and 40 pops up like this. So, that's not the same thing. That's not an apples to apples comparison. If Coach Prime were dating a 22-year-old, then yeah, I could understand it. But again, she's 37, pushing 40, and that comes with a whole set of, did I do everything I wanted to do in my life? If not, I got about 10 minutes left to do it. He's 57 with people around him passing away, and he's pushing 60 and he's not ready to get older. So that opens a different dynamic for him. And they both can talk about getting older. They're both in the industry. Coach Prime is not just a coach. He is a celebrity. He is an entertainer. He can school her on how to do things with her brand because she got 10 minutes left that she could use to elevate. And you know, he's stable. He has his own money. You know, he has a good job. He's popular, and you know, that's what women like when they see a guy. They like, oh, you know, he cute. He got his own money. He got his own house. He got a good job. He got stability. That's all women want. Handsomeness and stability. Y'all not gonna deny Coach Prime is handsome. It's people that it's. Y'all know Coach Prime is handsome. Women talk about that in the comments all the time. I think they especially like his silver fox looking beard. And he probably don't even like people calling him a silver fox because he's not ready to get to that silver fox level yet. He gonna have to hang out with some more silver foxes to feel that way though. If anything, made Deion's salary increases incremental and tied to performance. Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. I just think that I see that when it came to taking care of coaches, look at the coach that they took care of really well. And it was already conversation happening that Livingston will be the next coach. And I do think if Coach Prime were to move on, he probably would suggest that Livingston be the next coach. And if Coach Prime's contract is not done and it's taking this long to get to an agreement, they're pretty far off. And I still think they might feel like they can take their blueprint and work it themselves. Said the media is always starting something with Coach Prime, right? So don't give them nothing. 12 years, unbelievable with Tracy. What does that say? You know, it says I'm not ready to be married. When you're engaged for 12 years, you're not ready to be married. It don't even take 2 years to figure out somebody. If you see them all the time, you know. Now, Tracy and Coach Prime, to their benefit, they didn't even live in the same city. They didn't live on the same coast, from what I understand. He was in Dallas. Maybe she was in Cali when he got to Jackson State. I don't know if she was in New York. So, you know, then somebody was in Atlanta when he was in Jackson. I think she was going back and forth. You know, she's in the entertainment industry. Movies, Atlanta, New York, California. So, you know, she had a lot going on. Remember, she had that show with Lauren London. I forgot what it was called, but it was good. Not The Game, but something else. The Games People Play LA. That was really, really, really good. And she produced that show. So, you know, we talked about two people being in the same industry. It worked for as long as they did because they understood each other's schedules, work habits. And that's why it lasted so long. But, you know, the marriage thing. Now, I don't know if she wanted to get married. I don't know if people know that Tracy Edmonds was basically married to Eddie Murphy for damn near like 24 hours. So, babyface, Eddie Murphy, Coach Prime. And then she just went, because she probably didn't want to get married no more. And maybe they broke up for a reason that had nothing to do with marriage. I think I saw a story, because I used to follow her, that said something about a person's time and a priority. So, that was that. So, but that's why it lasted so long. The same reason I say Shedeur and Angel Reese could date, because they have a lot in common. They understand the lifestyle of a celebrity, high profile. They know how to move. They respect, you know, certain things. I think as long as you're transparent in a relationship and y'all agree, we're not trying to be married, we out here enjoying each other's company, I think it could work. But when one person is no longer a priority or made a priority, then yeah, that becomes a problem. Oh, Elaine, she just posted about her relationship and how she wasn't allowed to go. I think DeAndre said when Jacquees was performing music, he was making like going to the studio with one of his, I guess, co-workers, Dej Loaf. They had an album together back in 2017, or a song. Well, it's 2025. They were trying to recreate part 2. And DeAndre had posted her frustration that she wasn't allowed to go to the studio because apparently her presence would make DeAndre feel uncomfortable, and the internet just went nuts. And they still talking about her crashing out. She's posting videos of her and her baby. I like it. That's what she need to do. Just keep it pushing. So I hit the like button. Thank you. Don't we forget we have memberships. If you hang out with us all the time, you can be a friend or family. I think it started at $3.99. Not a whole lot. And there are some perks. I have in the works a private friends and family group chat via text message. So just know it should have been tonight, but I was into setting up something else. So it's coming. Just think about becoming a member. I do need a 6th member anyway. So anybody willing to become the 6th member, if you like to come back all the time, click join, sign up, pick your level. If you like, well, I don't know if I want to become family, become a friend of what she said, join some of the other members. If you're going to come all the time, might as well become a friend of family, right? Thank you, Juanita, for hitting the like button. It said Coach Prime has been through that gauntlet, so he's prepared himself. So he knows what to look for. Yeah, when it comes to people setting him up, I do think he knows what to look for. But I did question Kiel if, because we're dealing with, we're in a 6th stage of life and there's only 8 left. People around us are starting to pass on. We became a grandfather. That's realization. Becoming a grandparent, well, not necessarily, because some people become a grandparent young. But when you already, trying to maintain your youth and you become a grandparent and you publicly say, I wasn't ready to become a grandfather, and you keep trying to be youthful, and then this beautiful girl comes along after everybody start passing away around you that you take notice of, and you're like, I'm gonna do this. It makes you it makes you refocus your priorities. Maybe I wasn't gonna date anybody, or maybe I wasn't, gonna date nobody younger, but I might as well just go have fun. And that's cool. Just be discreet and keep it on the low, because you are not just Deion Sanders. You are also Coach Prime. And Coach Prime gets hated on from sun up to sundown by somebody. Juanita, no, I'm not kidding. It said, and Coach Nick Saban has been college coaching for years, and I would never know who his kids are. His wife is Miss Terry. I do know that. His wife has been mentioned on commentary, and her name is Miss Terry. But the drama, right? I don't think it's just that. I think what you have to realize, Queen T, is Coach Prime was in not necessarily a unique position coming to Colorado, because Herm Edwards was there before at Arizona State. Kevin Sumlin treated horribly at Texas A&M. So it wasn't new what Coach Prime was doing. It's just there still is a lot of hatred for Black college coaches rising up to head coaching positions, because now that Coach Prime has been there 3 years, you see how much power it comes with. I looked around one day where you could see everybody. I'm like, wow, okay. See, the position is not just about calling X's and O's. In fact, he ain't really calling the X's and O's. He's managing the team and putting the people in place. That comes with a lot of power. And to me, that's why they didn't want Black men being Black head coaches and not in PWIs, because of the power that it comes with. It's looked at as a prestigious position, and that's where that old tired trope about you don't belong here comes. Where he's there, he was getting infiltrated and sabotaged from within on year 1. Year 2, the O-line on one side still had a problem. So now we're year 3. Some people had a problem with him elevating Coach Gunnar White from Jackson State, who's been there loyal the whole time. They had problems with him elevating. But Coach Gunnar White has been with Coach Prime from Jackson State. So I understand that Coach Prime clearly needs somebody in that O-line position he can trust, so we don't have a year 3 with a new quarterback with the same old O-line issues, even if it's on one side or 1 or 2 players. We need a coach that's going to rotate. Now we got 2 new quarterbacks we got to protect. So it said, right. So far, the Sanders boys have been incognito, minus Bucky, and you never see him engaging. He's usually in the background. Yeah, right. They're very, I feel like he raised them that way. So I do think them seeing his relationship be put out there publicly, and he likely could have gone a different way and not come out there like that. I think they might have felt some type of way about it, because you told us to go this way and then don't put our stuff in their public, and what are you doing? And then he didn't like Shedeur's hair. I thought that was hilarious. And a lot of people say they like Shedeur's hair and they want him to keep his braids. And I saw a picture of Jada Daniels holding his Heisman Trophy. He had a haircut like Shedeur has right now. And then what happened when he got drafted? He went to his locks, his twist. I don't know what he had on draft night, but he decided to become himself, and it worked for him. So I think Shedeur should do the same and go back to his twist, because he looks good with them. She looks like the other ones. Oh, you talking about Karrueche? Yeah. CU and Prime. CU and Prime are contractually playing chess. Oh, okay. That's what you meant by they playing chess. They might be, but they might be. They might be. And again, I probably would be more discreet, knowing I'm in contract negotiations, because I feel like the whole Coach Prime going to the NFL, that leverage has kind of backfired. That's what I meant by CU moving in to sign Doc Livingston to a healthy contract, which is one hell of a message. If they get to 7 million, and that's not enough, Coach Prime, they get to 9 million, 10 million, and Coach Prime like, nope, I sold $1 million in ticket sales and I brought $90 million my first 3 months here. I want 13 million, which would put him up there with Kirby Smart. Maybe Ryan Day might be one under that. Sarkisian, I think, got a contract extension, but I think his contract extension was only for 1 year. I need to go back and look. Maybe he was, a 6-year contract. He's on year 3, and now he goes 7 years, but he got 4 years left. That's interesting in itself. So I don't know what he wants. I know he deserves the bag, but I don't know how they truly feel about it. I told you the media refers to his time there as the circus. That's in the ear of some of those people. So while I know they're playing chess and waiting to the last minute, I really don't know what they value, but rushing in to see them sign Livingston does take away, in my opinion, some of Coach Prime's leverage. So if he went back and said, I'm going to the NFL, they like, cool, we good. Karrueche looks like the rest. Yeah, she does. I mean, Coach Prime has a type. We can't deny that. Coach Prime has a type. He has a type. I hope he knows he has a type. And types can get you in trouble. Sometimes the one that you need, the one that you actually realize that you need, is not your type. So types are a way to keep you from getting what you want. If you keep going from relationship to relationship with the same type of woman, then that should tell you right there. That's what the holdup is. You're looking at the wrong type. What do you think about Coach Prime and his show with Roxy Diaz? I wish he would have did a show by himself and had guests. I don't really feel no type of way about it. I like Roxy. She's a good interviewer. I do. I like Roxy. She look like something wrong with her right now, though. I don't know what the hell transpired behind the scenes. I think there's a whole lot of talk about the fact that people thought they were in a relationship. And he made a joke, I think the day Keith Sweat was on the show, which was maybe Valentine's. He said, I don't want to do something to get in the way of all the men you date. And she was like, what? Like, stop. And he said, I didn't mean to say all the men. I meant the one you dated. So I don't know what's going on, but I know she introduced her to Karrueche, but that don't mean she knew that they were dating. One of the reasons I think Coach Prime himself was so standoffish and making sure that nobody thought that he and Roxy were together is because behind the scenes this whole time, possibly unbeknownst to Roxy, them two been talking. And when they went holding hands out the restaurant, they were ready for the world to know. I think he should wait. If I didn't know all this time, we didn't need to know now. So that's why I say that's a lapse in judgment, in my opinion. So that's what people saying, Elaine. Karrueche's too close in age to the age of his oldest daughter. Bucky is what, 30? He just turned 30 or 31 or something like that. He's still young. But see, she's 37. 37 and 40 are closer together than 32 and 37. Even the mindset is at 32, you still thinking you have a lot of time to do everything you want to do. At 37, you like, I need to get this together. I need to get this together. That's what you're thinking at 37, because you start seeing the gray hair. Then you probably can't stay up all night. Like you used to, party in the morning, staying up to 3 a.m. You eventually got to start taking a nap. That's what 37 looks like. 37 is the beginning of 40. And remember, developmentally, you're one way or the other as you get closer to your birthday. So she's already 37 in my opinion. And that's too close to 40 for me to be concerned about her, Coach Prime being like Drea. I think that's too different. It said, I would say Coach Prime is not a fool. No, he's not. He's very smart. I even wondered. See, I felt like it was a publicity stunt. I just didn't see what the publicity was for. Like, okay, we understood the whole Coach Prime to Colorado thing. At first, we didn't like it as fans because we knew they were using it to hate. Then when he was a part of it, when it came out that, he put it out there himself that he would consider coaching the NFL if both of his sons got drafted to the same team. Regardless of what people think about that move, I felt like it was always leverage to make sure that Colorado thinks twice. So that's the chess move that y'all are talking about. So Coach Prime made his move, and now I think Colorado made their move. And I'm of the opinion that their move is securing Doc Livingston as a head coach in case Coach Prime in Colorado can't agree or Coach Prime decides to leave. So, you made the last move. So we'll see who makes the next move. So no, I don't think he's a fool though. It said he's waiting for Shedeur's placement to be solidified, which I believe will dictate his next move. I think Shedeur is a lock for Vegas. I think Shedeur. Okay, here's the thing: the combine starts next week. Next Thursday. Is it next Thursday? I think it's next Thursday. Oh no, this Thursday. Anyway, the combine is approaching. I forget what day it is. The combine is fast approaching. Okay. The Shedeur already knows who he's working out with. He said publicly he's working out with the Giants and the Browns. That means Travis knows who he's working out with. Chances are Jimmy Horn Jr. knows who he's working out with. And LaJohntay Wester. I'm talking about combine invitees for Colorado. So with that being the case, these people already made their decision, especially where Shedeur Sanders is concerned, because Shedeur's workout is consistent of his height and his weight. He ain't out here running a 40. In fact, we can watch the combine on TV. So I'm gonna try to catch it. I think Travis goes first. Travis is the only DB from Colorado. It should be also Cameron McCrae, but it's not. It's Travis, and he's working out as a corner. He's not with the receivers. The receivers and the quarterbacks are together. Travis goes first. The next day or so are the receivers. I actually had a sticky note with the dates. Let's see if I can see it. Okay, February, Friday. Nope, hold on one second. Yeah, I had a date. Okay, Friday. Oh, that ain't either. Okay. I don't know. I had it somewhere. Okay, NFL Combine. NFL Combine dates. Thursday, February 27th. Defensive back workouts on the 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. Travis is first. Travis know who he working out for. He already know which way he working out, who he working out for. They get there earlier, like a few days early, and they're staggered in by positions. The wideouts and the quarterbacks are working out together. So that means that Jimmy, LaJohntay, and Shedeur will all be together. I think Will Shepherd should have gotten a combine invite. He had a 78 score on PFF, and that's a whole nother conversation. And he balled out. Nobody is leaving Will Shepherd undrafted. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think they kind of lowballing him, meaning, you know what, we could, get you up here and get you pretty high up, but it's a business. How much I want to pay for your services? I think they lowballing him, because I do think if he would have got an invite, Colorado would have had 5, and Iowa State had 5, and y'all know they went to the Big 12. And then Arizona State had 4, and y'all know they went to the semifinal. So I just think that, you know, they weren't going to let Colorado get up there. And I do think they lowballing Will Shepherd because they know he's going to get drafted. It said, Juanita said, you hear one of his sons say because of the way dad's manager came out, it doesn't know. I forget which one. What is that? Oh, his marriages came out. Yeah. I mean, that's anybody. You know, that goes for anybody, you know, children. That's not unique to Coach Prime at all. I do think Coach Prime has done a good job with teaching his children to understand that you don't put your relationship out there like that. You keep that private. So he got to do the same thing. That's all I'm saying. You can't be parading women around at the university while you telling them to keep their business private. I don't see the difference between the two. They all are over the age of 21, or they all grown over the age of 18. So that was basically a parent saying, do as I say and not as I do. And that's unique for Coach Prime because we don't typically see him move like that. They typically move in lockstep together. But for this particular situation, I don't know why he felt the need to let that go public. He could have had a chef come over to the house. Sometimes you have to move like that. Sometimes you have to be discreet until you get to a certain point. And my whole argument was, hey, you got these guys going to the draft, not just, you know, and I know they gone from CU. I understand if you go into the draft, you have left the university. And I know it's a lot of people, the strength and conditioning doing their thing. So he's not around. And he's not around all the time. The show he takes with Roxy, I found out, is in Denver. So he's not too far away, but he is getting some time off his scenes. And while, you know, you want to be in a companion, I'm cool with that. And this might be somebody you want to go public with, but the timing of that is very important. And you in contract negotiations. You got 2 sons trying to get drafted who getting hate on. You got some players who got snubbed. You know, just kind of wait. And then we got a spring game coming up April 19th. Maybe wait till after that's done. Because we got Juju and Caden battling head-to-head for QB1. After this draft, that's going to get more and more attention. Actually, the black and gold game is before the draft. So as we get closer, there's going to be speculation about that. So I would just be more protective and protective of those that I'm responsible for, those that trusted me to get them here. And my own children, you know, how it might look to them, how it came out, even though maybe they knew, maybe they didn't. You just got to move different sometimes when, you know, you have children, when you a coach, you have kids entrusted to you, you got young people, you know, you just got to move different. I can't say it no more times other than you got to move different. And I feel like it was a lapse of judgment. That's just me. Tracy was a second fiddle to Deion's children. Really, I don't know. I didn't really see their time together. I thought that maybe the younger girl didn't care for the relationship. I will say that, Elaine. I didn't think the younger one cared for it. She daddy's girl. I mean, you know, daddy's girls, that comes with the territory too. It said she should know she's an entertainer and what comes with it. Yep. All right, we're going to hear 1 hour and 46 minutes. But this is what happens when the conversation is engaged. It say, Elaine, you're right. Coach Prime's mom didn't really. Oh, okay. All right. It says, does Karuchi have children? I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest. If so, she keeps him out the spotlight. It said he kept asking him, Shedeur, where's Mr. Bob? Oh, yeah. I didn't know what that meant. Elaine. He did keep asking him that. I didn't know. I think he's talking about that standard issue haircut. I don't think Shedeur needs that. Coach Prime has always been out front with the women he dates. He was just with the last one for last year. Yeah. I say you gotta, you know, maybe keep that in the background because we know we're not committing to nobody. So we don't just want to be parading A, B, C, D, the alphabet through the campus. That's not a good look. I'm telling y'all, the mothers, why the mothers don't make decisions for their sons. Instrumental, especially when they got a good relationship. Look at Jaden Daniels and his mom. Look at Lamar Jackson and his mom. See? There you go. backfired is what I was alluding to with the chess statement. Oh yeah, it's not Dion, it's the money CU values. Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, okay, all right. When they said they wanted Coach Prime to come from Jackson State, they saw what he did at Jackson State. Well, he took them to 2 championships, but then he also put the spotlight on all HBCUs. And I think Eddie George had already been there and hadn't made it to that point. I think this year Eddie George actually took his team to a championship, but I still don't think Tennessee State has ever had the type of attention that Jackson State had while Coach Prime was there, and they don't have it now. So, you know, one of the things people said when Coach Prime left is, y'all got the blueprint, use it. And that's true. That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to go somewhere. He's supposed to get the blueprint. Now, this is something else I thought about. Okay, so right now, I think the New Orleans Saints are the last coach to hire someone, right? So now that all the coaches are in position, CU is still maybe negotiating. And they locked in Doc Livingston. Coach Prime wants $13 million. It'll be the highest paid coach up there with Kirby Smart, or maybe surpass Kirby Smart to $14 million. And they like, no. Which I think gonna happen. He gonna get $8 million of the buyout clause. Or somebody gonna give it to him, or it's something about a buyout clause. He got a buyout clause. Maybe they can buy him out, or somebody else can buy them out. Now, Coach Prime said he does not need to interview for a head coaching job. But if everybody already has their head coaches, that means he probably not coaching college football at CU if they can't reach an agreement, or he gonna have to slide in on somebody as an assistant or something like that. So the timing of how all of this comes out, again, his contract could be just sitting somewhere waiting, because we know the publicity factor with Coach Prime. It could be sitting somewhere with his signature on it, and they agreed not to announce it until after the draft or after the spring game. But if they are truly still in contract negotiations, and they gave Doc Livingston what they gave Doc, they're gonna have to come off that checkbook to give Coach Prime that kind of money too, meaning the kind of money that says, we value you, we want you to stay here for the long term. If that's not what they offer him, if they lowball him, it could be a problem. It could be a problem. But his contract could be finished. I said that. I said, Coach Prime believes everything, you can use it for marketing, and you can capitalize off of it. It said there's some type of chemistry, but the overall energy is off on the show. It is as of late. And I feel like it's because he's going out the way to show that he's not interested in her. And I don't know if it's because people thought they were together and he like, no. Or she didn't know that he and Carucci were linking up. They kept it that private. And that's why I know if you kept it that secret since November, you could have kept keeping it secret, but you were ready for it to come out for whatever reason. And maybe she didn't know. Imagine you introducing one of your friends to a guy, and you see this guy every day, and he doesn't say that much to you. Y'all laugh, kiki and aha, and have chemistry. But then he all of a sudden is like, hey, I don't want nobody to think that we together. No, I'm not with her. And then he holding hands with the girl, the other girl. And she gonna be like, oh, okay, I thought me and you were cool like that. And he like, what do you mean? Well, I didn't know you and her were together. You could have told me. I introduced y'all. That kind of scenario. So that probably made her realize her place in his life. It ain't what she thought. And sometimes that can catch you off guard. And that's what it looks like, that she's been caught off guard. It said he might think too highly of himself to his own detriment. It's possible. His ego could be getting the best of him right now. Especially with a young woman after him. Knowing, and a young pretty woman, like, she's pretty and she's popular. I'm not a man, but that's possible. Kiel, you could speak on that. You, Crowley, if 22 in here, y'all can speak to that, how, it comes, a woman, make y'all feel some type of way. I don't know. I'm thinking Cleveland or the Giants. Oh, you talking about Shedeur? I think it's the Raiders. It said, who did Colorado hire? We're talking about Coach Doc Livingston, the defensive coordinator. He got a nice, healthy long-term or a nice, healthy contract to keep him at CU make him feel like they want him to be around. Highest paid defensive coordinator, I think, in the history of the university, in terms of football anyway. I don't know about the rest. So yeah. And then after that, that's when the other guy left. The one that just left for Miami. He was with Colorado as an assistant coach initially. He got promoted, Coach Damian Lewis. He got promoted to head coach. And then suddenly he took a job back in Miami where he went to school as an assistant. So he went back down to an assistant to go back to Miami. And I don't know where Warren Sapp is, but I did hear they trying to make sure that Warren Sapp and Doc Livingston were taken care of. So we'll see what Warren Sapp's contract looks like. It should be public as well. The dates for the combine, thank you, Elaine, are 2/27 and 2/28. Exactly. Okay. So Juanita, right above, Elaine put the date to the combine. It said if they get the 13 million, he'll be the highest coach in college football. The Chamber of Commerce is going to have to kick in something. Remember what he got them this year. Yeah. Now, and see, that's another thing. Okay. So if Coach Prime is looking to be the highest paid coach in college football, but for the last 2 years, they haven't really had any coffers for NIL like these other schools are getting kicked down from these boosters, right? And for all these other donations and contributions. Colorado didn't have that. So my thinking is, okay, if I really didn't have any NIL for 2 years and I'm the head coach and I'm bringing in all this money in year one, then I turn around and bring in all this money for year two and I still have no NIL. But you kick down my defensive coordinator to a healthy long-term contract that signals we want you to be here. We appreciate you. And I'm still out here negotiating. I feel like we can take that blueprint and institutionalize it and capitalize off of it. Thank you very much. That's just how I feel. From a business perspective, that's what they would do. They would be like, okay, look, rather than spending this 13 million, because we already didn't want to invest heavily in NIL anyway, we got Doc Livingston and we see the defense is doing much, much better. We just go ahead and secure Doc Livingston. That way, if he goes to the NFL, we still good. That way, if we can't reach an agreement for what he wants, which is be the highest paid coach in college football, we just take the blueprint and, we internalize it, capitalize off of it, and we keep moving forward with Doc Livingston. That's what I see. So, okay, I hope it's a regular TV. Okay, it says, all right. So, that's that. Y'all really have a lot of comments happening. Okay, we need 2 new members because y'all really like each other in these comments. I need 2 new members. Pick your level of friends or family. Click the join button and join us. We get ready to get out of here. We are pushing 2 hours. This has been an excellent conversation. I'm happy to see y'all engaging in the chat that way. It makes me feel proud. It makes me feel proud. I think he already knows what his contract is because what Bucky asked him, should he renew his lease? Buck told him yes. Okay, all right, then there we go. That means he is waiting for an opportune time to reveal it. I don't know if I'm hoping it will be after the draft. Let's make it about the kids going to the draft, the young men going to the draft first. Then before that, we have the black and gold game. So that's April 19th. The draft is April 24th. So I would think after the draft would be a perfect time. Oh, breaking news. Coach Prime has, so that's what I think. Someone mentioned that it's the same thing like Jackson State did him. I hope not, because you see what that happened. You see what happened with Jackson State. He decided to go ahead and move on. That was a foolish move. That was a completely foolish move, but it goes to show you it was the administration because they let that administration go. And Jackson State has finally gotten back into talks, into reviewing plans and site locations for their new stadium. They might actually have already inked the deal. I don't know. But I know I heard about maybe December timeframe that they were back to having site locations and reviewing plans for their new stadium. And the conversation was, should the vet be renovated because it's a beautiful shape, Do you bulldoze it over, put up something new, etc.? So we see how that worked out. All right, y'all. So it said Travis Shedeur, Shiloh, LeJounte, Jimmy Horn Jr., Will Shepherd carried the team. Yeah, I do. I think the team overall was good. I just think the O-line on the right side was a hindrance to the run game, because you need the O-line to block too. So it was a hindrance to the run game. I don't think it was a coincidence. I just really don't. So we're going to get ready to get out of here. I know y'all are engaged in conversation, so I'm going to give y'all a chance to kind of like start wrapping up y'all conversation. I need somebody to join us. Please join friends and family. Pick your level, friends or family. All right, y'all, we're going to get ready to get out of here. Give y'all a few more minutes. We will live tonight on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. So find us where you can. Always check out the stories on Instagram for the latest. I do keep it updated. You can check out the reels on Instagram. The only reason we don't go live on Instagram, I think it has something to do with the process of how Instagram does lives behind the scenes with the technology. So that ain't on us. That's on them. Look for us on your favorite platform. And if you see any of our content, please hit the like button. Feel free to share it. And after the live, you can always go back and look at the live stream chat. It's the replay. It'll always be there. We have a replay game. They always go through the comments and make sure that people see the content and they hit the like button, leave a comment, even if it's dropping emojis in the comments. So thank y'all so much. I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to give y'all a few seconds to finish engaging, and I appreciate you guys. Good night, guys.